Ironworks Garage. Here's a 1950 Ford. That's exactly what it is. That boy has a 351 Cleveland in it with a 289 air cleaner, but it is a 351 Cleveland. It has a Plymouth Volare front suspension that's been done the right way. Most of them are scabbed together and extended and dropped and everything else. This one is tucked up nice and neat up into the frame. The frame has been cut and boxed for the control arms and stuff like that. Also, in the rear end, it has a Jeep transducer module. Not true, just a Ford 9-inch rear end. And we already pulled the spark plugs on this bad boy, and we hosed the cylinders down with seafoam to make sure that rings are free and stuff like that, which is always what you do, even though that's not what they show you. Turn it over by hand, let it sit for a few days. It's good to let those sit as long as possible. But it's been sitting a while, and we're gonna try to get it fired up. Yep. We need to make sure the fuel lines are clear in this bad boy. Got no problems there. Oil's all good, everything like that. We're going to go get some antifreeze and some other fluids for this bad boy. As you can see, the battery cables have seen better days. We got some ends on those babies.
I'm just gonna stop editing Jason out.
Don't do it, man. I need editing. It does need edited, kind of like
I don't get paid to edit.
Kind of like a 5-year-old needing a babysitter.
Wait a minute, you get paid to do other stuff?
Negative payment?
He gets paid to go to work, not this work. Brake fluid, did you check the power steering fluid?
Yeah, it's slow.
Well, the problem is I don't know what this pump is even from. You gotta run the right power steering fluid in there, and I don't know what pump is even in this. Gotta figure it out. Hey. Don't be letting people think I drive around with shells hanging from my rear.
Jason's a low-key hula dancer. That's where he gets most of his income. Pays actually pretty good. The customers suck, though. And we don't want to talk about the customers.
Well, the thing about it is, once he gets his belly going, it's hard to shut her down. It's called momentum.
And that's where the tips are earned.
Here we have some supplies. And the Gimbal.
Jimbo! Sup, kitty? How many gallons of oil does this thing take?
6 gallons. 6, yeah. Not really. More like 6 quarts. But,
Quart gallon. They're about the same thing, right?
well, baby, I need to buy it.
Even those?
wanted needle nose, I would have said I need some needle nose pliers.
Here we have thread tape and a pipe plug. I didn't have the proper plug, so I got to put two together, a bushing and a plug. We're going in. Thomas, quit throwing rocks.
Thomas, do you think you can take your dad?
With that hammer in his hand, he might be
With
able to.
the hammer and this and a good head start, I can probably almost take it.
And sometimes when you work on cars, you break it. And now I got to go get a new screen on my phone. Give her a good squeeze here. Need some super glue. You got a leak. Thomas, put just a little bit of that stuff in the radiator so I can see where it's coming out. There's a hole in the intake right here. It looks like maybe it's a plug. See that back bolt on the top of the intake? See that hole back here?
How do you plug that out?
Just a pipe plug, I think. I think that's just a standard pipe plug.
Child labor, YouTube. Yes, there's a child working in this video,
Dad told me to.
except for this child is doing chores, so it's not illegal.
We picked up this here universal starter switch. And now it's going in the truck.
Hello, small kitty.
Bowie.
This battery's too big for this truck.
It's gonna work for now. Forward, 1 cat power. Wrangler butts drive me nuts. We have our wiring sorted out here.
It's crank.
Something is happening here, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones?
A little bit of that 2-cycle gas and carburetor. The battery might not be strong enough to start the damn thing.
I understand that. And it's no charge.
Something's happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear.
Hey, what are you doing? This stuff. Hey, Aaron said no more of that shit. You're the one that does it. Hooking up this here battery. Let's see if we can get this baby fired up. Put some gas in there. I'll take it in here and see if we can start it. There. Are you ready? We got an oil problem. We're missing a wire here. Sounds awesome. Explain the problem.
The problem is that they hire young women to work at auto parts stores who have no knowledge of vehicles, and when they do hire a man, they hire a man who has no knowledge of vehicles, and they pay all these people $12 an hour instead of $25 an hour. So you get people that have no knowledge of auto parts whatsoever, and they can never find anything.
The other problem is when you're dealing with hot rodding, okay, this is obviously not the original engine for this truck. It's a 351 Cleveland, and when you call there to order parts just for an engine, they don't know how to sort that out. So they want to know what vehicle it's in, and if you tell them a 1950 Ford, it's going to be a freaking flathead. So then you got to go back and forth with these guys and sort out how to get parts for your custom hot rod. So we're going to go buy a fuel pump since this bad boy is leaking.
Do you have a guess why it might be leaking?
Yeah, because the rubber seals are bad inside of the fuel pump from sitting, possibly from blowing air into the fuel line ahead of the fuel pump. We got to take our new parts store fuel pump back because it's the wrong one. And the lady at the parts store said she'd never heard of a 351 Cleveland car before. Sometimes people don't use the proper tools on fuel lines or brake lines. They end up stripping these fittings out. And what you need to use is a proper line wrench. Follow this. I'm flattening out, making these round edges flat again so you can get a wrench to grip on this stupid thing. Otherwise you can clamp a pair of ice grips on there, but then the fitting is no good no more. This might save the fitting. Let me see those things. No.
Those are hardcore.
What does that mean?
If you slip, that thing is screwed, man.
What? Can't even get it to do anything.
What are you talking about? That thing's gripping like crazy. They don't lock.
There's leaking fuel everywhere.
What in the hell? Why is that on there like that?
You sure you're turning it the right way?
Dakota, stop.
I'm just saying. Now you got fuel leaking everywhere.
9/16 wrench.
There's one right there.
No, there's not. That's not a regular wrench.
Well, it's working.
No, it's not working. I'm not going to use it.
Let's go.
Well, we got the sucker all buttoned up, I hope. Going to take her for a test drive, see how she does. So here we go.
We don't have any cup holders.
No. There's a hot rod, but we don't have cup holders. Or oh yeah.
We might not be going anywhere.
No transmission fluid, which is why we couldn't get it in gear. Hopefully that's the only issue.
Wonder who forgot to check that.
I believe it was Henry Ford, since this is type F transmission fluid.
Does type F mean fudged up?
It means I hope this thing runs. Not using it. Test drive, take 2. Went into gear. That's a good thing.
Easy. Hey, hey. You can hit that mower. There you go. Now we've got some kind of a grinding in the brake.
drum. We've got one brake in the rear end. This thing is basically a death trap. You know what it is? That's a brake drum.
In the rear?
Yes, my side, brake drum issue.
Why is it locking up? I don't know that that's a brake issue. It sounds like maybe that dust cover.
No, it's back here, coming from that rear wheel.
Pulls to the left.
I guess it's a good thing we're going left.
It is, because it pulls to the left. If you hit the brakes and turn to the left, turn on a dime.
Where in the heck's the radio in this thing?
It's a hot rod. You don't listen to the radio, listen to the sound of the engine.
And the clanking of the rear drums, apparently. It does have a speaker cover, though.
That's just to hang earrings on, Betty Boop earrings.
Beep boop, beep boop. Over there, man.
Trees.
Finally, we have made it to the wilderness. We're about to do a huge burnout. Not really. I hate my truck now. I hate all my trucks. This is just so nice to drive an old truck. Man, this truck is cool.
Say it without the effort.
Man, this truck is cool.
Now we're home again. Glad we made it right back home again. Well, that's all, folks. She's running good. After 10 years of sitting, it's a bad to the bone truck. New fuel pump, new fuel lines, bled the brakes,
New battery.
new battery, new ignition switch, transmission fluid. Had to put a bunch of that in her, tighten some stuff up, put some fresh gas in her. That's a wrap.